Oh, what's up, guys?
Yeah, hello.
You guys look good. Everybody.
Thank you.
Everybody looks
Welcome.
It's an important day. It's a special day.
good. Yeah.
You know?
Very special.
They told us to get a female.
Yeah.
And then we didn't just get any female.
Yeah.
We got an important female.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
We got the
Got
very
like
important
family.
female.
We got family in the house.
Yeah.
Big
Now, we were practicing these lines all day, guys. She got this one. She got this one. Come on.
Click like and subscribe to 4400. This is Sammy-B, the first female on here. Subscribe on YouTube.
It's free.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Sam.
It's free.
Thank you very much.
It's free.
Perfect money.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to my usual. Per usual.
Okay.
Okay.
What did you listen to on the way here?
Ooh, it wasn't music this time.
Oh, no.
No, yeah, it wasn't music this time. You know who Dave Portnoy is?
No, I have no idea.
The guy from Barstool Sports.
Yes.
Sign Cam and everybody else. He does pizza reviews. I'm sure you've seen it before.
Oh, yes. I know who that guy is. Yeah. I
probably watched.
You say, I'm sure you've seen that before.
I watched about 20 pizza reviews on the way over here. Shit's kind of funny, but at the same time, I was looking for good pizza, so
Yeah,
I might have some pizza when I leave.
You saw when he was like, he went to the guy's store and the guy was like, I know what you do. And they got to like, oh,
he wanted his ass out of here, east side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you listen to, Sam, on the way here?
The radio.
See, that's what I know.
What radio? What were you
It
listening
was
to?
a Little Hot 97 and whatever else was in between. I like to listen to the radio.
You know radio? You don't have like tunes in your ear?
No.
You rock with the block, the old station now? 94.7?
With 94.7, that's good.
Yeah.
She like,
Matthew, you not on the block?
She don't know. She like,
I'm
huh?
gonna
What
put
you
you
guys
on.
do? What you listen to?
I'm like, nope.
Now I was listening to the Shaq and Kobe, Meek Mills, and Rick
yeah.
Ross.
Yeah,
that's
hard.
definitely
That's
getting a bumping
You
out.
hear yet?
Yeah.
It's dope.
You see the video?
Yeah.
It's a video?
The video is dope.
Oh, see, we all behind that.
Ross got like a whole thing. He in there with the voodoo look.
Oh, yeah, I did see the preview for the video.
Yeah,
Yes.
the video's hard.
Yes.
Money and power. This is hard.
Somebody was crying. I forgot who, but...
Meek.
Meek was running the video?
Psych.
No.
Why would you do that to me?
I didn't say it.
Why would you do that to me?
What you got, B? What you listen to?
I was listening to my Uber driver because my car's in the shop and that's what I've been dealing with all morning.
He was talking
Good
to you?
conversation.
Yeah. He actually was talking.
Did he subscribe?
No, we didn't do that.
We
was
didn't get to that
complaining
point.
We
about
didn't do
the law. We was complaining about the city
Surge
and
prices.
how much they hate us and how much they want to get rid of us and how they keep eating into the street but no one's eating into the sidewalk. Take some of that sidewalk space, but that's a different topic.
You started a whole music.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I'm with him though. on
That's
that.
another episode, though.
Yeah. Stop eating into the street. Bike lanes, bus lanes, trash. All this stuff is now in the street.
That's so
cut into the
weird.
sidewalk. Says city bikes. Let's move on, please. I got trauma.
Yeah.
What
I
about
got
you?
trauma.
Please.
What about you, brother? What you was listening
I'm
to on the
listening
way
to
here?
the
Circling the block.
YG and Tiger.
Oh, what?
Of course you
That's
are.
my new shit. Yo, Wayne got
The
a drink.
biggest YG fan.
I'm like, are you going to the concert?
Oh, they got a concert coming?
Yeah, they're doing like a tour.
He gonna act like he
Don't
don't
give me
know.
the-
He
I
got
didn't know y'all. I'm getting tickets.
YG, Tiger, and Saweetie.
He
I
still
didn't know that.
irons flags to wear to work.
What is this concert? When is the?
There's a tour.
Are we going?
It's a tour.
Are we going?
No.
She said, no.
Shut him down.
Yeah.
You can go. Tell
You
us
on your
about
own
it.
on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sam. I
You
thought
on
we
your
were like
own on
a
that
400 with Sam. We gotta go to the YG and Tiger. Oh, okay.
No, but you know.
And the CMG album. That shit is hard too. CMG 2
Oh, it came out already?
came out.
Oh, okay, cool. So I'm not
got
Like Glorilla, my boo.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you
That's my
gotta
boo.
think for
Yeah,
Glorilla.
she got a
You can
song.
have
She
that.
got a song with
can
Fabio
keep
right
that.
now.
This is man talk for real.
You don't like Glorilla?
I do.
I love Glorilla, and you know what I love about her? I love her young spunkiness. Like she's just happy to be here.
She does give that.
Like she's
kind
just
of-
happy to be here. She's not with the drama or nothing. She's just happy to be here.
She said some wild.
I do
Cool
like her
sister.
though.
Oh, your sister. Okay.
I actually enjoy her, but
Yeah, you
yeah.
enjoy it? All right. So listen, we're going to start this off, the first question. But before we start off, I just want to say thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me, guys.
You know we go way back.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Way back like
You
Swave Cats.
know what I'm saying? From Pride Institute. And I'm happy to see where you started from and where you at now.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate that.
it's definitely great to see you where you at now.
Can I tell a quick story before you jump into
go
it?
ahead,
My
brother.
bad. I didn't want to jump into the interview before we say this. We did say she was family because she is family. We did go to college with her almost 20 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah.
But
She's still young.
the connection that I think most of y'all probably don't even know about is that my daughter, I think, is here solely because of this person.
Hey,
I met
who?
No, this is true. You gotta hear it out. You gotta
I
hear
met
it
my
out.
daughter's mother.
I'm listening.
I met my daughter's mother after she walked in Sammy's show. So we connected after she had her show. Other than that, I would have never been able to actually formulate
you the
that.
plug.
She is.
Oh, so after the show.
You drove my daughter home from the hospital, but
I did.
she's probably the reason more than anybody else that she's here. So
I dig it.
You hear me
Thank you.
knocking, let
Family
me
friend.
in.
You're welcome.
Sammy the
That's right.
plug. That's his
Sammy
new
the
name.
plug.
We'll change the name from Sammy B to Sammy the plug.
I'm not mad at
So if y'all
that.
want to have any babies out there,
You know, a lot of models.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right up on the strip.
You want some models? I got you.
Yeah,
You know?
it's true.
You know?
It's true.
Okay, so the first question. How do you feel when seeing celebrities wearing your clothing in major publications? So, like, how was that process to get celebrities wearing your clothes? Like Gabrielle Union, Beyoncé.
You got the beehive with you.
Yeah.
Big Virgo. Yeah, you know what? I always am shocked just kind of like everyone else, even though I know it's happening or
Right.
gonna happen or gonna be like whatever. I'm always like, okay, like this is cool, like. But then it's like I don't like get stuck there because then it's like, what's next? You know?
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's like because you get too stuck there and it's like.
You fear not over yourself.
Yeah, it just gets weird, and I see people like that, but then get stuck there. So it's kind of like I still have to run a business. It's still like all these things going on. So I'm like, let me use it to my advantage, but keep moving. Like I don't get too stuck there where I'm like, oh my God, you know Beyonce. Even though some people be like, Sam, you need to talk that sometime. But I'm kind of like, yeah, she did.
Did it feel surreal though?
Yeah, it does. I think like more so feels surreal with social media, seeing everyone's comments, like. Because, like, outside of, like, my circle, it was like, all right, Sam, boom. It's like seeing everyone else, and I, like, look through, I'm like, oh, okay,
With
they
that
like
random
it.
Tom.
Yeah.
I was like, this is hard. Can I buy this?
Those real
Yeah.
random comments where people hit me up, like, I purchased this because I saw Beyonce, and I'm like, oh, okay. Or whoever, or things like that. Or even specifically with Gabrielle Union, what I love about her is that, I don't know why, but she kind of took it on. Like, she'll literally, like, post my stuff and then her caption be like, Samantha Black, that's all. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, like, so that's like another type of
Shout out
like
to Gabrielle
support.
Union.
Yeah, especially in this like climate where like you got to pay celebs for things like that organic, like I just want to support her type of thing is like super important. That's when I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool.
I was going to say, I feel like I see you, I mean, we're friends on social media, but I see you post from time to time, but a lot of the stuff that are like, again, the Beyoncés and the bigger things that we're talking about in terms of clout now, other people are posting it on your behalf because they're so proud of you.
Yes.
So that's where, again, I feel like you're not pushing it in front of everybody's face, but at the same time, the recognition is there. So definitely accept all your flowers and all your gifts. Because
Thank you. And I appreciate people doing that because I'm like, okay, because then it reminds me too, like you do have to like take it in a little bit, like you know. So that's cool. Thank you.
Nice. That's awesome. I was going to ask you because I know that your talent and creativity has kind of got you into a lot of rooms, but which one of those scenarios or situations was probably like the biggest wow factor for you? Like, were you ever sitting across from somebody and just like, I've come a long way, and now I feel like I'm kind of arrived, or was there a point where you were just like, wow, this is kind of blowing my mind even?
I don't really get like starstruck, so I've been around a lot of celebrities.
You came in here, you was acting
Yo,
I was gonna let get away with it.
Yeah.
But as soon as I walked in the door, she was like, don't I remember? Yeah, I know. I was remember
yeah, that is true, you know. Icons. Yeah. But stars, not so much. I'm just kind of like, I always kind of like, even when I first started out, I kind of saw it like, I'm here because like, I see it as like co-workers, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. And so I never really get starstruck. I'm like chilling with them like regular people. And I feel like celebrities appreciate that more because if you're around them, then they kind of don't want to be around that.
Yeah, like you fanning out, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, what we doing? All right, you know, like very, very much normal. So like with celebs, I don't really like freak out if I'm around them, in front of them. It's kind of just like work, like let's get to work. But the Target collaboration was kind of like, I think the big moment for me, which was more recent, only because it was nationwide in every single Target store. And people, thank you, people who had no clue who I was purchasing my clothes. They were on social media like, go get this collaboration. This is so dope. And I feel like sometimes it's nice when like, you know, your community who's seen you support you, but when like strangers see it and they like it, it's like, I'm not doing it because I'm trying to support Sam. I'm doing it because I actually like these clothes and it speaks to me in whatever way it speaks to me. And that was just like kind of really cool and made me feel like, because I was like when they approach me, I'm like, how y'all find me? Like, for real, that was my question. I'm like,
Well, I like the reel you did. You did a nice reel when you walked into Target. That was a dope.
oh yeah,
When you
yeah.
walked in, and I was like, yeah. The Atlantic Center Mall one?
Yes.
That was my movement. I was like, this is my homegirl.
Yeah.
You acting out.
In BK too, like that was really like, I was like, it was,
you cry?
behind the scenes. I didn't cry. You know what? I don't really be crying.
You want me to tell you why? Because you said, I feel like I'm about to cry, but then the video kind of skipped a little bit. And we in the editing. So I feel like you might have shed a tear. The person was
I
like,
cried in post.
No, because I'll feel like that, like, and I did, like, oh my gosh, and then I kind of get like overwhelmed, and then I'm like, I snap out of it, and then I'm just kind of like in shock more so, like, so I never really like cry about things.
Let it happen sometime though. It's fine.
But shock takes over. I just be like,
it was a dope Brooklyn moment though. I was like, you
It's
walked up because Atlantic Terminal got
Yeah.
that walk
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
the whole joint.
if you know, you know.
Yeah. I was like, oh, because when I'm watching, I'm like, oh, she went to Brooklyn. She went to the big joint.
Yep. I'm like, that's where I'm going, to that one, Brooklyn, where I became a designer and, all that stuff.
Came full circle.
Yeah, it really was. But I feel like that was like the biggest moment where I'm like, wow. And like people were like really proud. And like I saw people from like high school going to Target taking pictures with like the post. Like and you were sending me like pictures like, see, I'm in the store. Like I was like, that was kind of like the moment I was feeling like really like, I didn't cry still, but I was like super like grateful.
I feel like you keep hitting that you don't cry more because you cried at something.
No, but I was gonna say, the first time I cried was recently, and it was after this fashion show. Like this fashion show, this season of doing this show was so overwhelming for me, like in a like stressful way, good and stressful. And I don't know what happened, but I cried. I was like, out of all the things, I'm over here shedding a tear. But that was like the first time I've cried in like about my work and whatever in years. And it was just, I think it was so overwhelming.
I'm gonna still ask you this question.
Uh-huh.
But the way you're speaking this whole time, I could tell that you enjoy working with other people. You say it's co-workers and things like that. But would you ever consider yourself an independent woman?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
I'm a little too independent. What you're saying? Yeah, I mean, I run my line, Sammy-B, and there's like a very small team. I do a lot of different positions within my brand. So when I do things, it's collaborations or whatever, anyone that I work with outside is kind of like a co-working situation, but it's not on a daily. So I'm very independent, and I have to be in order to kind of accomplish the things that I accomplish. And but yeah, I'm an independent woman, maybe a little too.
Yeah, does that hurt you socially? Do you think?
Socially?
Yeah, like in your friend circle.
Not really, because like a lot of the women that I am friends with, they bosses too.
Okay.
So
And they've been in your circle.
and that's the thing too with like celebrities and things like that. Like my friend group is very small.
Yeah.
Like everyone else is associates.
I know their first names.
Listen, and it's been that way for forever.
I'm hating because I see some of the vacations y'all on, getting off elephants and all that kind of other stuff. I feel like we don't.
They had the whole color theme going on.
Everybody on the boat.
I'm pretty sure me and Sam was friends, and I didn't get the invite.
Right,
to this.
I'm about to say.
He was on a boat that was docked. The boat was out there. She was on a real boat.
Now with that's more so like friendships that I've built, in the industry. One person who works on my team, which is Mecca, she has her own brand, which is called Pink Retreats. So those are, and I love her because she goes hard for my business just as much as she goes hard for her business. And her business is where those trips come in. Okay. Like she's all about Black luxury. She's like, people need to know that like the Black experience can be all of these things on a regular. You know what I'm saying? So she's about like community also, and just like, let's go to get together and do some fly-ish. Like,
what, her brand was built underneath yours, or was it something that was
same time? Actually, so I met her years ago when I first started, and she used to work in the music industry. And she came to get close for one of her artists that were on tour. She's like, "Yo, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I started my brand. It's Sammy-B. I'm in my house." The one that's how I used to have the parties.
Right.
And
Those some banging Halloween parties. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you ain't been to a Sammy-B Halloween party, you missed out. Yeah, you missed out.
I got a picture from that night too.
Those were, come on. Anyway, so she's like, "What you do?" I'm like, "Oh, I do this." And she's like, "Okay, well, I do represent these designers, she's like, I'm on tour now, but when I get back, I'm doing their fashion week show. I'm gonna invite you. So I went to the show and I was like, yo, can I work with you? And she's like, I'm only taking on one client fashion-wise at a time. I'm like, and then all of a sudden, I'd never seen this lady before. I started bumping into her. I'm like, can we work together? Can we work together? And then like a year later, I saw her, I was like, can we work together? And she was like, actually, I'm free. I let go of those people. And my first ever New York Fashion Week show, solo, I told her what I wanted to do. She's like, nah. I was like, I put a deposit down. She's like, forget about it. And I was like,
Forgotten.
I was like, that's my money. Like, she's like, you're thinking too small. And I was like, okay. And she was like, I know you like Solange. Solange is DJing your show. And all your celebrities that you be working with, it's time to call them, like, have them at your show. So Angela Simmons closed the show. There's a lot of celebrities there. And that's kind of like, ever since then, there's been, ups and downs. But her business is now like a lifestyle brand. She had her magazine and she extended it to a lifestyle brand. She added her retreats. So that's kind of her like vibe always. And that's why this show was really hard, because what I wanted to do, again, many years later, she was like, nah. She's like, we gotta like switch some things up. And I was like, I'm tired.
So funny enough, you kind of hinted at this a minute ago. One of our episodes, we talked about transactional relationships, right? We talked about it in a more dating fashion, but I asked you more in a business sense. Because you're interacting with people so much, transactional, how many of these relationships feel organic, like the one you explained with Gabrielle Union, or transactional where it's like, I made this for someone and like time to move on? How many of these people you actually hold on to?
When I first started, it was actually more not so transactional because there wasn't so many Black designers or social media wasn't as big. So celebrities really wanted to like, oh, I rock with you and I'm gonna rock with you. Where like Ashanti's dad was picking up clothes from my house. Like it was that like personal, like, yo, I rock with her, hanging out with the fam, like things like that, where now everyone knows that everything is like a money thing. So they're like, I'm gonna wear your clothes. I might not tag you because I know that I can get paid to tag you. So whereas before, that's why I brought the Gabby thing, why it was so special, because it was like in a time period where tags cost money. You know what I'm saying? Like, so most celebrities have stylists. So the stylist would tag who the designers are and the celebrity would just tag who styled them.
Wait, run that to me again?
So I dress you, right? So I'm bringing you Gucci, I'm bringing you this, I'm bringing you some Sammy-B, right? So when you post it on social media, you're just saying, oh, Sammy-B dressed me. You're not listing all the labels because you're like, I can get paid to list all the labels.
Oh, okay.
But then the stylist will list it because that's kind of like they keep those relationships. But so the celebrity really does not have to. There's like a thing there.
Chain of command kind of
So, but for Gabby to do that is like, she knew, like that was very intentional of her that like, I'm going to
push you out.
I'm going to tag her and let everyone know who like I'm wearing directly. Like I'm going to literally just put her name in the thing. It's not like you didn't have to tap the picture to see I was in the actual caption. And that to me was like, it means more than you guys probably really know, because people don't read, one, and people are not trying to do all that investigating. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. So that was like clear as day, it was just my name in the thing. Keke Palmer's done that for me before too, and I feel like it's hard nowadays to get that like personal,
organic. We have that too.
I've been happy to have it a couple times. There's a couple people that like really rock with us and make sure that they put us in their feeds.
Umi Dubs definitely does.
Albon
definitely does it. He definitely rock with us. They make sure when we post stuff, they post our stuff all the time.
Those are like those people are gems because they don't really have to, and it makes more of a difference, especially in this how things go.
Good money. Good.
Okay, so my next question, right? So back to me. Okay.
We see you.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. But during this process, being that you said that there's not too many Black designers, right? Did you ever feel like at one point where like this is going to become, I might not be able to do my own thing and I might have to work for someone else?
So I started off working for brands.
Right.
And I got bored.
Okay.
That's how I really, really started pushing Sammy-B, because I was sitting there and I'm like, why am I arguing with you over the color of a button? Like, I'm the designer. Why are we arguing over this? This is, to me, it was dumb. Like, just like small, stupid things like that. Or I would be communicating with vendors And then when they come to New York, get to the meeting, and they're like, where's the designer? I'm like, hi, I'm Samantha. I've been who you're communicating with. And they're like, want to bring other people in. I'm like, because I'm a young Black designer. Yeah. And they don't now trust, now they see me face to face, they don't now trust that I'm able to, and I'm like, this is BS. And then no one's supporting me because they're coming in like, all right. I'm like, no, I can be in this meeting by myself. Like, I make the decision. It was just annoying to me.
Do you look back on those moments and say, I understand the system of it now?
No.
Or you do. So for you and the way you do business, you must feel like you have to change that.
The thing about it is, the designer is a designer, right? So the designer makes the calls. And the only reason they were questioning is because I was young and Black, right?
Yeah.
But through emails and everything like that, it was good. But once they saw me in person, they're like, I mean, this was like years ago now too, so like, I look like a kid, but I was still doing the work. Yeah. And it's because I was a Black girl. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it was. So no, absolutely not. It wasn't valid then. It's not valid now. And I was just kind of like, I'm an art kid at the end of the day too. So I'm like, don't be messing with my creative. Like, but I get the business, the business side took me longer, but that was just BS. But that's what made me like, I'm going to work for myself. And even once I started working for myself, I was still freelancing for brands. But now I wasn't full time. So I can leave, do whatever I want when I wanted to. But ultimately, I would never go back full time unless I absolutely had to, or unless, because even on this side of it, there's BS. So if I finally got annoyed with all that BS and I was like, you know what, maybe, you can weigh the BS, like, what do and then I might be like, oh, okay, cool. But going back into the corporate, I wouldn't be a designer, probably be a creative director, which is a little different too. So,
yeah, doing for yourself always feels better, even if it's harder.
Yeah,
it does.
So.
It's a lot more responsibility, but it's always worth it.
Before you, where did you get your creativeness? Like when you designing clothes, what gives you inspiration?
So you know what happened though? That was my question.
Hey, bad guy. Shots fired.
Double jump.
Bang.
Double jump.
That's why I wrote. I know one of y'all greasy mofos.
He was rolling out the questions, so he's like, before.
Get your hand out my pocket.
That
Went
is
back
so
and pressed
funny.
the button.
Yo.
Shut his mic.
I'm not mad.
It's a little payback.
Yeah, I did it to him 2 episodes ago.
Oh.
I'm gonna get my next
so you
4
sat with it and said, I'm gonna get you.
I'm glad he got me early and not when it was later on.
Cut you deep.
I'm gonna bleed you, boy.
I get my inspo from everywhere. A lot of my constant inspiration, like there's like a constant, which is New York City, 90s hip hop, Jamaica, dancehall.
Kingston shirt.
Those are like my constant, like whatever. And then from there, I'll be like, okay, what's happening? What's trending? And how can I add to that? Like sitting here looking at this thing, I'm like, yo, I like something about this, like that. How can I apply it or whatever? But it kind of comes like that. But I kind of keep my constant, and then from there, we'll like apply certain things.
But even from young, like a kid, like where did that come from?
Honestly, it stems from being a kid because I used to be when my family's mad Jamaican, both sides, and like my aunts and stuff used to go to dance hall parties and they used to video it, and I couldn't wait for the videos to come out, and I would sit there and watch the videos of all the crazy dance hall costumes, all the videos. Also, we would go to like adult parties as kids, and I used to just love that. And my family was big on clothing, so we would, as kids, my mom tells this joke. She was like, I was 3 years old at a birthday party, and they passed around cake. And I was like, can I have mine to go? Because I cannot mess up my dress. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she was like, I cannot. I knew it was silk. I'm not about to try nothing on this. Box that, So, but some of the things that I remember seeing as a kid that I was so mesmerized by is stuck with me. And it's from that kind of generation and really seeing my aunts and stuff get fly. And I just loved it. My parents used to go to Dapper Dan in Harlem. From a kid, I remember sitting outside,
they had a couple of dollars.
They had a little dollars.
A couple of dollars.
I literally remember sitting outside in the car waiting for the clothes to be done because Jamaicans going to parties at 1 a.m. So, and I remember that. So it kind of just stuck with me. And that's the vibe. I went to school in Brooklyn.
You always dress. You always dress.
I'm about to say,
I mean, eating my breakfast like, fucking Sam, what do you have on, Sam? I'm mad now because now it's like the vision. You saw it. I didn't see it. It was like futuristic, but I'm like, Sammy, it's 8:00. Why are you doing this with eggs right now?
Yeah,
But you could
still down.
You could see even like in your earlier work, like some of the cultural influence, like a lot of the bright patterns and even like the braids that you used to do with that was like.
Thank you.
Spot on you. Anytime I saw that, I was like, that's Sammy work. Even if I didn't see her already post it, I knew I could visualize what you did.
For stealing your stuff, and then I
They did.
that.
No, they did.
It happened.
They did. But thank you for that, because that braided thing, there was a time when I was like, oh, everything's like kind of, everyone's work is starting to look the same. And I was like, I need to like tap into like being like an artist, and I started doing the braided stuff. And that's what kind of separated me. And that also is what kind of like, where people start paying attention. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely. We're going to throw the pictures up. Those were fire. Those were fire.
I just appreciate that.
Segue into my question, but having your own brand, you said you have a small team. I know I see like Paige, your cousin, models a lot of your stuff. How do you find like these opportunities that are not outright presented to themselves? I know you did Project Runway, All Stars, the Target, Nordstrom. Like, so how are you finding that without having a huge team?
Like I said, Target came to me, and that was through consistency. Because I didn't finish that up. I literally asked the guy, like, how did you find me? He's like, my job is to scour the internet and to find talent that we think that could work well with Target. And that was just off of consistency. Because like I said, there's ups and downs. I do clothing. There's 1,000,001 brands now. You can get so much fly clothes for a really good price. Like, times are different. So consistency and just keep putting my work out there, how he found me. Project Runway, I applied a couple times before they chose me.
How did you become an all-star?
You know.
I was faithfully watching Project Runway.
To be clear, I never watched Project Runway until you was on there. And I'm like, nah, my homegirl. I gotta be quiet. I gotta be quiet.
Yeah, you know what it's like to sit there at the TV and you be like, yeah, that's my homegirl right there.
Yeah.
School together. You know what I'm saying?
I'm getting to make something.
Yeah. Like, no, we were actually friends.
Yeah. Yo, y'all gotta be quiet, bro. Y'all gotta be quiet because Sam is on the TV.
I love that. Thank you. All-Star. You know, they called me back like, first of all, I didn't get a fair ride the first time.
That's true.
So they called me back. But also I was like battling that too, because the business of it, I thought it was going to be more like about like the real art. But there was a whole system set up that I was not rocking with. And
so you felt that from the inside, because we could see it on the screen. Sometimes it was pushed.
Yeah.
So I showed up when I did all my interviews, the casting stuff. It was me, funky, whatever. But when I showed up to actually film, I came with a septum on my nose, and they were pissed. They were pissed, but I had just gotten it pierced like 2 weeks before filming my original season. And they're like, turn it in. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, my nose is bleeding every single time. And they sat me down, was like, this is not it. We wanted this like feisty Brooklyn girl, and this is giving artsy girl, like alternative. They was not feeling it. I was like, and then finally,
they didn't know who they was dealing with.
Halfway through the season,
I didn't know a septum ring could cause that much.
Because it made me too artsy.
But that is an environment. Wow, it's just, I'm just thinking.
You know what it is? I think that is
because that's an environment where you're supposed to be creative, and no matter where I pierce myself, it's a reflection of the creativity.
Yeah.
They casted me as this.
They wanted a character as opposed to
her real person.
But I also think though,
talent.
you got to think about now the evolution of like when you saw that then, it was the shocker.
Too.
No, it was
and stuff. I get it. I get why.
Now it's the norm.
In that space,
it was a big one. It was huge. It was big.
You got the wooden joint?
No, but when they pierce, I still have it. It's turned in now. It's small, but when they pierce, they had to pierce it with a big one. I initially wanted a small. They're like, we have to pierce it with this one.
How drunk were you when you did it?
I'm about to say, you got a little nose.
I wasn't. I sat there though. When I got off the chair, I was sweating so much. The whole print was there, like my body. I was like, that pain. I was like, That's why I'll never take it out. I don't even wear it down, but I'm never taking it out because that pain was that crazy.
Yeah, you earned that.
Yeah,
I earned it for sure. But yeah, so they were mad, and then they would have me in interviews like, say such and such and such is a bitch, because da-da-da. I'm like, I mean, what she did was a little annoying, but
Yeah, that's not me.
He's
that's
like,
not me.
you're not gonna make it far in this competition. If you do
down to that.
The producers, yeah, they're like, you're not gonna make it unless you say it this way. And I was like,
Stick to the script.
I don't feel that way. Like, yeah, I was like, I don't really feel that way. Yeah, so it was interesting. I was like, yo, I really just came here to like make some stuff and be done. And then the time constraint. So it was interesting. I still went back though as an all-star because I was like, I feel like I have something to prove. And when you go back as an all-star, the restrictions, things like that are a lot less. Like they're like, people's not coming back. Like I literally was like, listen, bomb, 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 bomb. And they're like, no, it's different now. But yeah, I'll only do like reality TV if it's like more docu style or like no competition shows for me.
So speaking of like images, like you said docu style you'll go with, right? But just like the images of casting the way you casted your clothing, you don't. We had an episode we talked about the big girls, right? There's no shame, I could tell at the end of how much color you use in big girls' clothing. But is there any consideration? Like you just like yellow for that, perfect. I see it. I go. You don't think yellow is too much?
Listen, my personal style is not for everybody, right? And the way I design is not necessarily for everybody either, right? So, but I design for the person you see, you want to wear it. So if you big, small, little, indifferent, like that's your vibe, that's your vibe. If you can pull it off, great. If you can't, you still wear it.
They do though.
That's your thing too.
Your models do. It's just someone to have that type of bravery to like, no matter what, those patterns fit everybody. I promise you. That takes a lot of confidence.
It will. The thing about it is too, like my sister used to be like, gray, black, and white. That's what she used to wear. I'm like, girl, like now she's in entertainment, so she gets it. But before she didn't. And like me, naturally, I gravitate to color and crazy prints and patterns. That's just me. And that's what I put out there. And,
it's good. I'm happy for you.
You know,
I like the
I'm totally okay that it's not for everybody. I'm more than comfortable with that.
For everybody.
Huh?
It ain't for everybody.
And I'm cool with it. I'm like, all right, like.
Do you find yourself like kind of self-limiting when you're working for like the biggest stores like the Nordstrom, knowing you're designing for an entire country instead of a smaller demographic? Do you find yourself limiting some of your patterns or choices or colors?
With Nordstrom, more so.
I cleaned it up. I got you.
That's what I meant.
I dunked it. I dunked it.
With Nordstrom, yes. Just because, like, I understand that it's a little bit different. And
we breezed past that, though, but real quick. Nordstrom, you're in Nordstrom.
Yes. Okay. I've done, like, 5 seasons in Nordstrom now.
Okay. All right.
Just past 4.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah. You just can't breeze past it. Like, oh, yeah, Nordstrom.
I mean, 4. 4
plus 1.
We want to 5 next, but right now we have 4.
We're down to 400.
Yeah,
400 is going to
Listen, it's 400 right now, you know. Yeah, so Nordstrom, yes. I'm a little more like, okay, but I work with their buyers and they kind of like, oh, whatever. With Target, I went in thinking like about the Target customer and trying to scale back. And then I got there to the first meeting and they were like, no, we chose you for this. Like, come with the color, come with the print. I was like, really? So my collaboration for Target was crazy colorful.
Yeah.
It was.
Crazy bright.
Yeah.
It was that I was like, okay. They're like, yeah, this is the first time people are being introduced to you. Why not go
all out?
Go big, yeah. Show them you.
So that's what we did. And it was crazy colorful, crazy prints.
It was dope.
And crazy feedback, right?
Yeah, and it was great.
Yeah.
And it was really great. It was like one of their most successful collaborations. So
wow.
It was big, so.
She keep modestly saying stuff like it was the biggest one ever. So
we can't breathe.
I'm just saying it was, but I mean, I'm sure there's others to come, but mine was.
They ain't our friend.
Listen,
I don't know them.
it was actually the first time that they offered a designer collection collaboration in full like plus size. So it went from extra small to 3X.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that they did that.
I pushed the cart through. Don't worry about it.
So I think that helped though, because a lot of women were writing me like, this is the first time we can go into the store. Like they did it in-store and online, where I think before they would do plus just online.
Yeah.
Which I was a little annoyed because I had one set that was for the guys. It was cream. And that was only online. I was like,
Why do they do that to us big people?
Why do they do that?
Because they act like, I guess they feel like big people, we too big to walk around the store and pick up shit. Because everything they buy, I can order it for you. No, I want it to see it.
Yeah, you want to try it on, and I don't know why they do that.
They don't respect us. They don't respect us big people.
Yeah,
I keep telling them, it don't matter if I grow smaller, I'm still 6'5". It's not going to work.
Talk about it.
6'5".
6'5". He added one.
I'm not gonna argue.
You keep adding, you can argue about my half. I got it. You want to go to the doctor with me?
Nope.
Ooh.
Stand on the shoulder.
Don't do it.
Hey, yeah.
So,
Back with me.
yeah, go to the doctor with me. It's yours. No,
And roll with the back out.
check me out.
Right?
Question of the day is,
Stirrups mine.
Right.
No.
I'm throwing cards on the floor.
You don't even need on that size.
Yeah, I know. Question of the day,
Yes.
your earlier design. Do you have an early design that you look back on, right? And you're like, what the hell was this?
A few, for sure.
I'll go on Gartrell.
You don't put those on you. Those are always creative
Like,
juices.
what was your first design? What was your first design that's in the book somewhere that you're like?
Honestly, there was a few. But I'm not mad at it because at that time, you know, I thought things were great.
Yeah.
And originally, I think more so than like the design, because to be honest, some of my earlier work was actually my best work because I was, I didn't care who wore it, right? I didn't care if I had people buying it or not. It was like, I'm just putting this out there. So it was my most creative, which honestly, some of my early work is still like, keeps me going to this day. But I used to make everything in my bedroom. So more so than the design, it was the construction.
Okay.
So I feel like that was like the cringe was like, it's just not made well type thing, but the design was there. So that's mainly it. But like I said, some of my early work, I feel it was the most creative and separating me from a lot of other people. So I do love, even though the crazier, like what I loved it all. Now I'm a little bit more like, okay, I do have to think about, is it gonna sell? Like, how can I make sure that it's me? But
More business love.
yeah, you know, yeah.
Something you didn't do that we're sorry that we didn't. You gotta list off your accolades. Where are you now? Where were you?
I'm here.
Where you gonna?
That's right.
Talk your talk. Talk your talk. So warm. Talk your talk.
Number one.
Any future ventures? Any things that we should have people outside looking for right now? I want to buy somebody something.
What's not under non-disclosure right now? What can we push?
Yeah, I want to
No,
push something.
I
I want to because I like that. I like this jacket you got on right now.
So this is actually a unisex.
Okay.
Guys actually like it all the time.
Stu can pull that off. I can't.
You could.
You think
See, you
we got
gotta change
3X?
your mindset.
I was waiting for you to say we got it in 3X. We can order it for you.
It might be online. Nah, not yet. Online.
It's online. Next to the
Moving
cream.
you up and say, I threw you the alley-oop and she just smacked the ball out
Right
of
next to the cream went online.
So Stu, I got one for you in the car. She's like, I got one in the car for you.
No, this doesn't come in 3X, but it needs to. It needs to though because specifically a lot of guys, the shirt comes in this black and a coyote, which is real nice. It's kind of like whatever. It's really nice and guys.
I like that color. That color's dope.
Thank you very much.
I'm an 8 crayon guy, so I'm gonna just say it's green.
Okay, I say sage, but
Don't even know what sage is.
it's in the green family.
Guys.
Sage, you know, it's a little softer. But it's in the green family. I forgot the question now because
The original question is, tell us where you was.
Oh, yeah.
As far as like what stores you were in. List off your accolades because you kind of breeze through them, and I think a lot of people need to know who Sammy-B is.
I don't really know.
So we can just gonna go doom, 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 doom.
All right, where was it? Target. You was in Target. Shout out to Target.
Did a collaboration with Target, right?
Yeah, okay, so I did a collaboration with Target.
You're in Nordstrom.
I'm in Nordstrom.
Nordstrom. Gotta put the D in there. And
the R.
Nordstrom.
Okay, we catch you there. You have fall.
In stores and online.
You have a fall. You have a fall line right now.
I'm coming.
Okay, fall line.
Well, I actually have it fall in Nordstrom, yes.
Okay.
So I sell on my website as well. I try to separate the things from Nordstrom to the site a little bit so people can go there, you know, you want it, go there. So I try not to keep it on the same things on my site.
So what's your site? Tell us your site.
SammyBdesigns.com.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the newest thing that we need to look out for?
So we are launching Samantha Black,
Okay.
which is the higher tier.
Black.
All right. Now we got to buy something.
Get the funds up. Shop that. You want to buy something? Shop there.
Everything in 3X. Everything.
Shop there. Shop there. Yeah, we want to be able to dress women and men too. I got to pay more attention to the men soon. But we want to be able to dress you for everything from casual to evening wear to whatever. So we added the higher tier. So a lot of things that we do sometimes for celebrities might be custom or whatever. So people ask about that. So we're like, you know what?
I want some custom work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Custom, when I say custom will be like color, different, special colors, or maybe I might change the material, but it's not like I don't allow you to design my stuff.
Yeah.
And you did Fashion Week.
Yeah, where can we see the stuff that you just did for Fashion Week?
Yeah,
And you had a not to cut you off, but you had a host of diversity in there. That was super dope. I saw how you did that. I was like, yo, you know what? That was for everybody.
Yes,
that was dope. Your diversity levels was crazy on that.
We trying,
You nailing it.
Sammy-B for everybody.
Yeah.
But where can we see that on your Instagram?
So it's on my Instagram and it's on the site. But that will officially, so during Fashion Week showed Spring Summer 2024.
Okay.
So that will be available 2024 with the Samantha Black higher tier. We're going to we're in meetings now still with department stores. That's kind of how it goes, the fashion cycle. Hopefully we get picked up in some new retailers, but whether that happens or not, we're going to be selling on our site, and we're going to have a made-to-order model where you order it. We're going to have full size range,
Okay.
Thank you.
and you just have to wait like 4 weeks. That's the only thing.
That's not
Any
bad.
of your workers you want to give a shout out to? Let them know, what I'm saying, that we need to look out for. So we need to subscribe to their page too.
Oh yeah, Mecca Moore Henson,
Mecca.
Nice.
Queen Pink, like she does it. Luxury, Black excellence. She's all about it.
She do interviews?
You know what? She actually lives right down the street too.
Ooh,
Sis lives in the high rise in Manhattan.
Okay.
Just so you know.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got a husband. She's very much into like that you and your partner like do things together and all that kind of stuff too, which I love about her. But she's amazing. So her, I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Samantha Black.
Huh?
Samantha Black.
What's that?
That's the line, Black.
Oh, Samantha Black.
That's what's up, Samantha
That's
Black.
actually my real name. I want to put that
Yeah.
out there because
Yeah.
people do not know that that's my real name. They think that it's made up.
I'm only shopping on the Black line.
Yeah, do
I'll
that.
let you know.
I
We
like
know,
that.
we know your sorority name. We ain't gonna say it, but we know your last name.
Yeah. We ain't gonna go there.
But before you go,
Yes.
right?
You kicking me out?
Yeah, we can.
I'll come for your
No, we
seat.
not.
Yeah. You can have my seat. You can be the first lady. Before you go, we want to tell you how much we appreciate you being the
thank
first lady
you.
up here, right?
Yeah, we definitely do.
And not
Definitely.
only
you.
that, I've been on the internet. I've been watching Rick Ross boss it up, and because you're a boss, right? Because you're a boss, I got you a boss gift, right?
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
For real?
I done been the first lady. You know what I mean?
What we got?
Know what I'm saying?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
But you
Shout out-
be
you know
on
what I'm
it.
saying? You know what I'm saying?
Be on it.
Yeah,
I've been watching Ross all week, Bel Air Rosing me, telling me he a boss, and I'm like, you know what? Boss moves go to bosses.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
Definitely well deserved. And it's
You know what I'm
pink.
saying? And thank
I
you for
love
being the
it.
first lady.
This is really nice.
That's how I
Thank you.
roll, man. So you go home tonight, pop that, you know what I mean? Or on your car, your way back home.
No.
No drinking and driving. No drinking and driving.
She probably got
Back
a
of the
driver.
Uber, the back of the Uber. Yeah.
Driver.
I got a driver.
Car
it's all right.
service. There you go.
A driver. Samantha Black.
She got that money.
400. Samantha
Thank
Black.
you.
400 Sammy B.
400.
Thank you, Sam.
She'll be back after the spring.
Yeah. Just gotta drop that new line for us so you come talk about it.
I'm waiting for
Rap.
I'm
Talk about it.
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Perfect.